Shake it off, shake it off. I stay out too late. I got nothing on my brains. That's what people say. That's what people say. I keep on grooving. Can't stop, won't stop moving. It's my head, made me, oh my, I mean, let's go by, baby, shake, shake, shake. Cause there's players gonna play. And the haters gonna hate. And, what are you being for Halloween?
That was a long intro. You love your pop music. I'm being nothing. I have no parties because my brother has his wedding the day after Halloween, so I can't really do much on Halloween night.
Well, there's always a party to be had.
No. Well, my friends are having a party, but it's going to be the November 1st.
Well, where is it?
Which by this time comes out, it'll already be done. What?
Where is it?
It's at my friend's house.
Nice. Sutter, what are you being?
Again, nothing. I don't know.
You don't believe in things like Halloween? Hipster Halloween?
I'm just not.
You see, hipsters are too cool for Halloween.
This is actually the first year I haven't dressed up.
Yeah?
Like in forever. I think it is the first year, yeah. What are you being?
Sutter, what would you be if you could be something?
I'd probably just be like a bedsheet ghost or something. Because, I mean, I've already been to a couple parties and that's what I did. I just put a sheet on my head.
Bedsheet ghost.
Or that is also commonly known as the KKK?
No.
You're going as a Ku Klux Klan member?
No.
Do you think we have any Ku Klux Klan followers?
I hope not.
Wouldn't that be the funniest thing in the world?
Not really.
No.
Following a Jewish guy. We love that Froknows photo.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Well, that's very. That was
you brought
sorry.
That you're Jewish again.
Maybe they're.
Every episode.
Every episode.
Jared.
You're such a Zionist. I'm going to be. I decided last night. Magic Mike.
Ken Rockwell?
No, Magic Mike.
So Ken Rockwell.
Oh yes. I'm gonna be like, hi guys, I'm Ken Rockwell with my pants pulled all the way up to my shirt.
My
belly button.
Up to my shirt.
You want to just take your shirt off. That's why you're being Magic
Well,
Mike.
yeah, but I bought the bow tie and I got the cuffs and everything. And
you just bought it for yourself to have that outfit.
Yeah, well, I was gonna buy these short shorts. Like, there's this company on Amazon that sells male stripper stuff.
You already had the Richard Simmons outfit.
But I decided on the Richard Simmons shorts that I have because the other ones didn't have the right size for me.
They don't hug your butt as well?
Well, they weren't. No, they were meant to hug other parts. But somebody's like, it's see-through.
Oh god.
But I wanted to get the spandex. Like, but it was like a bow tie suit for your like
junk.
Yeah, but the Richard Simmons outfit's gonna do the
job.
Yeah, those pants will. So that's what I'm doing.
Cool.
All right. Jared Polin, Froknows Photo.com, and welcome to RAWtalk episode number 108. I'll title it later, but we do have a rant coming up. But we'll start off with the Lil has passed away, which most people would know by this point. She was 103. She was 5 days shy of her 104th birthday.
Man.
We just had the funeral on Monday, so we went out and whatever families left was there, and the president of Antonelli came out. He wanted to come out with his wife, so he did.
That's nice.
Which is very nice. Yeah, I mean, I've done my crying. That's been done.
Yeah.
You know, you're always upset, and it always comes back, but 103. You know, when you're 103, we're going to do a retrospective video. Got to have that put together. And then one of the other things that I want to put together is like things she may have seen. Because the last 103 years have to be the largest change in history.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of everything.
I feel like just the past 30 years.
Well, but that's 30 years. But you got to go back to thinking what Lil saw. In 1910, she's born. The assembly line doesn't exist yet.
It's crazy.
Henry Ford hasn't started the assembly line. That came in 1912. The Titanic sinks in 14.
Yep.
So she was born when the Titanic sank. She was there for the crash of the Wall Street in 29. She's there for World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and every single other war after. I don't know how many years she was around where there wasn't a war.
Yeah.
You know? That's one of those things. But technologically saying, airplanes barely got off the ground then. And now you've got, you go from single-engine airplanes to one-person flying to Lindbergh to transatlantic flights to jetliners to spaceships. And then spaceships have gone backwards. In the case of yesterday, one blew up.
Yeah.
The Antares rocket, which we're all waiting to watch go. But that's another story for another day. So thank you everybody for your condolences. We've never had a photo get so many likes and shares.
How much did it get?
I think it was like it reached 300,000 people on
Holy
Facebook.
crap.
You know, it says how many people reached, and it was 300,000 organically. There was, I think, 7,500 likes and 5,000 comments or something. I know it's just a lot. It just, if you want to talk marketing, branding type stuff, and I'm not downplaying this by any stretch, it just shows you in this day and age, if you're personal and honest with people and you let them into your life, the people pay attention. Because I read Bob Lefsetz. You read Lefsetz since I sent him over to you?
Not
you still
really.
haven't done it?
You still, yeah, you always
the
send
Lefsetz
over
letter.
links.
Oh, he talks about that stuff where it's about, they say that everybody has a short attention span and you need to give them shorter and shorter information to keep their attention. I think you need to give people just freaking good information to keep their attention, whether it's 2 minutes long or whether it's 2 hours long like we do with RAWtalks. People pay attention if you give them a reason to pay attention. So the whole thing with, you know, the Lil thing, when you look back, I chose to put it on the site because it was just fun, and I think that it was great to get the stories out of her. Obviously, to play back for my kids because I couldn't get them with my mom. That's why we did those.
Yeah,
and I've said that before. But, well, the Lil video started as a way to just get information from her, and then I realized that people were responding to it very well. Responding because it was like, it makes people feel like they have grandparents and parents that they may have talked to or didn't talk to. I wonder how many people out there watched any of the Lil videos and said, I better do this as well. I better sit down with a camera and film my grandparents or my parents to get all that information, because it's important.
It is true. I never even thought about filming my grandparents, and now I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, well, when they are gone, I want to have something to remind me of
and the
them.
other interesting stuff was at the funeral, all that's left are my mom's cousins. And they were just going into this. They knew Lil growing up, and they knew her father and her grandparents too. I never knew whether her grandparents were alive or not alive, and they were like, yeah, we were 14 or 15 when they died. And it was just interesting hearing some of the stories I've never heard, because they lived on that side of the family, and they had all the stories about Lil and Jaime, my grandfather. I didn't know he was born in, it said 1908. Whether we believe that is another story, because when he came over on the boat, they may have changed his age to make him younger. But there was some he was a very interesting guy. Used to wear cloves of garlic around his neck. Did some interesting things.
Was he a superstitious
They
dude?
called him crazy.
Oh, yeah?
He was a crazy guy. Yeah, he was, I believe he was bipolar. And that was one thing my mom worried about, was that passing
she would
along.
get that, or you would
no,
get
that
that
she would pass it along
to the
to
kids,
us.
yeah.
And I don't think that one was passed along. But anyway, thank you everybody for all the well wishes and, you know, passing along whatever you did about Lil. She obviously had a pretty good life at 103, and the things she has seen, I will talk about more of that in another post or video. Good?
Good.
Now, how do I transition to a plug?
Well, first we can talk about possible camera shake, because there's crazy construction going on right next door.
Well, that's why I was singing Shake Me Off.
Oh, well, now they know why you were singing that.
If you see any shaking going on in any of the cameras, they are tearing down the wall. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Sutter, who said that?
No idea. I'm typing. I'm not paying attention. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of typing, did you make sure the times were better this week?
I did. They were perfect this week. They better be, because I went back and watched every single piece of them, and it took me an extra.
Anyway, that was Reagan who said, "Tear down this wall."
Tear down this.
So they're basically doing construction.
Reagan, the actor.
Yeah, the actor. They're tearing down I-95, or part of it. They built new parts. They're tearing down the other parts. My road's closed. They're getting rid of it. It shakes the house. Yeah. And I'm going to go into the plug right now, because that's what I'm going to do. It's a road plug, because they're going to give away...
In your radio voice.
Rode is giving away 2 things in the Rode 2014 customer survey for a chance to win your choice of the new Rode Stereo Video Mic X. That's an $800 freaking microphone. And the K2 tube microphone. It's got to be good if it has a tube in it, right?
I guess so.
I mean, it's probably expensive. So where do you need to go to do this? It blah, 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 blah. Wow. I was stuttering. So this is where you need to go. http://ROCKRO.de survey. You have to pop this up on the screen.
I will.
Please.
Because I was going to say, I'm like reading that through my head, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Basically it's rock row,
rock row,
Shaggy, Reggie, Reggie, I want some Snoopy treats.
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for your damn meddling kids.
Yeah, got it. So anyway, go to rockrow, rockro.de/survey. It ends on November 10th, Sydney time. So that's probably like the 9th for the rest of the world, being that they're so far ahead. But just take their survey. It's, I believe, only 5 questions. And I want to win a stereo video mic X or a K2 tube microphone. And that's what I got to say about that. So go ahead, do that. It's on the screen. It's down below. But take that survey. And if it asks for you, where did you hear from? Let them know that you heard about the survey from the Fro. Should I do my rant? No, do your news.
Yeah,
why don't we go into news
first,
and then I'm going to
rant.
do rant?
Okay.
Well, you know what? Why don't you do news and then I'll do the rant?
Okay. So a photographer turned a pumpkin into an instant camera by Frankensteining a Holga lens with a Polaroid back. Nick Persinger, he took to his pumpkin carving party with a different idea, carved the pumpkin into a working camera. He calls it...
No.
What?
He carved a camera into a pumpkin.
Excuse me. Camera into a pumpkin. I guess that's the better way to say it. He calls it the Pumpkin Polaroid, which sports a Holga 120 lens in the back of a Polaroid SE. He tells Petapixel, in quotes, "The pictures were okay, very soft and atmospherical with really nice colors, and most had an orange tint to them due to the inside of the pumpkin illuminating when the exposure was made," end quote, which is interesting.
He should have painted it black.
Yeah, that's true. He should have.
I see a red door and I want to paint it black. No colors anymore. I want to turn it black. Till that darkness grows. Mick Jagger.
The downside to this is that it'll only last about a week until it pretty much starts to rot. By the time this comes out, it's probably already destroyed, this pumpkin camera.
But do you know what would make it better?
What?
If he peed on it.
Here's a different video perspective of a wedding. Drinking from a handle of Fireball. A man duct taped a GoPro to the bottle and asked everyone to take a swig from it at the wedding. The booze cam might just be the new thing at weddings.
Yeah, would you have done it?
Well, I probably would have done it because I probably would have been drunk and I would have
Ebola,
been like, who
man.
cares?
Ebola.
Herpes, man. Herpes.
You could just like, I was gonna say use a lighter on the end of it. That wouldn't be a good idea.
It wouldn't. Nah, your lips wouldn't like that.
Are you done with that story?
Part's done. Yes.
Are you done with that story?
That story's done.
Yeah, because guess what happened to Fireball this week?
What?
There's a recall on all Fireball.
Really?
For some substance in it.
Are you kidding me?
That is causing a allergic reaction from people that shouldn't be in it.
I just had Fireball this past weekend.
Fireball is the worst
Not at a wedding.
whiskey you could ever. It's bullshit.
It's cinnamon red or Big Red.
No. Well, it's Big Red or more so the Fireball that you put in your mouth, the candy Fireball.
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like. It's crap
combination.
alcohol.
It is. It's crap alcohol,
If you're
which is
gonna
why everyone
drink-
gets it because it's cheap and it tastes good.
If you're gonna drink out there, people, drink. I asked a bartender, my friend who owns a bar. I'm like, dude, what vodka should I buy back in the day? He's like, buy the best vodka you can. You know, it wasn't the best in the world, but it was much better than just buying a handle of something bad.
Everyone's different.
Yeah,
some
they
like
are.
the cheap vodka, some like the expensive stuff, some like beer,
Beer sucks.
some like puking everywhere.
Right, not me. Sutter, what do you drink?
He's not old enough to drink.
Nothing.
What'd you do to your head, by the way?
I shaved my head.
Take your hat off real quick.
No,
Well, that's for the people at home.
All the viewers on the GoPro.
on the GoPro.
Say hi.
And make a note of that. Why did you shave your head, Sutter? Did you get lice?
What?
Did you get lice?
No.
Good.
I was actually laying in bed one night and I was really bored. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to shave my head.
Do you know what we need to have? Can somebody be a cartoon artist out there that can animate Sutter laying in bed with a thought bubble above his head?
Like a caricature
Yeah,
or whatever.
Just a thought bubble going, I'm laying in bed thinking of like something. And then all of a sudden he gets the idea to shave his head. And then he shaves his head. End of cartoon. Wouldn't it be funny to animate RAWtalk?
RAWtalk would be sweet.
I should probably find somebody to do that. I know that Stern does it, and I know there's a guy that does it for Kevin Smith and stuff like that. But Sutter laying in bed. Was your girlfriend there?
Yes. First I used like a buzzy razor. I don't know what to call it, a buzzer or whatever.
Buzzy razor.
And I did it like that, and then I rubbed shaving cream all over my head and just used like a regular razor. But she did the back because I couldn't shave the back of my head.
That's funny.
I'll refrain from the shaving cream comment I was about to make.
This is like the worst time of year to shave it too. She should be growing it. If not,
I know.
Summer's over.
And then I quickly went and bought hats to keep my head warm.
Is your head freezing?
It was the other night. I was like, oh my God, why'd I do this?
I haven't had a shaved head in 7 years.
You have a little jacket on your head.
I do.
a little parka.
Always
a
nice
little
and warm.
parka.
So moving forward, we have the first Hasselblad to enter space is up for auction, and it comes with the first out-of-this-world Zeiss lens as well. The first Zeiss lens to go into space. The Hasselblad 500X and Zeiss 80mm f2.8 lens will hit the auction block on November 13th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The camera was used by Wally Schirra on Mercury Atlas 8 and Gordon Cooper on Mercury Atlas 9 in the early 60s. I think it was 62 and 63. Fun fact, the camera was originally purchased by Mercury astronaut Wally Schirra himself at the recommendation of Life and National Geographic magazine photographers. The bidding starts at $10,000 and the official pre-auction estimate is set to between $50,000 and $100,000. However, they expect it to exceed expectations.
Hey, we got 10 grand, 10 grand, we got 11, we're 11, 12, 12, anywhere we're at. We got 100, we got 10,000 right there to the man in the back. Sutter, would you like to bid? Up. Sutter raised his hand. Let's go to 20, 20, 20. We're going to get 25, 25, 30, 30, 30. Anybody got 30? 30 right here, 30 right here. We're waiting for anything. 35, 35. 45 from the man hipster shaved head guy in the back. I got 45. Can I get 50? Anybody? 50 right here. 50 right in front. We got 50. Can I get a 60? Can I get a 60? 60 right there to the man over there with the shaved head.
That's his
We're
twin.
at 60. We're at 70. Going once. Going twice. Guys, this is the last time I'm going to offer this. And sold to the man over there with the shaved head and hipster mustache.
Yeah, woohoo, I got it.
Now, how will you be paying for your
Sutter
square?
would totally buy something like this too, actually. Moving forward, we have Sony. They released their new line of XQD cards, your favorite card. It's called the G Series. The G Series.
G Series is so hot because what you got to do is you got to
Just rub it the right way.
you got to come hither. Sutter doesn't know this stuff yet. He hasn't been to AVN
Birds and
like
the
we
bees.
have.
The new cards are geared for 4K, featuring a max write speed of 350 megabytes a second and read speed of 400 megabytes a second.
They're fast.
They are fast. Sony claims that if you use the USB 3.0 reader included with each card, that you'll get a transfer time that is twice as fast as the fastest CF cards on the market.
Yeah, the interesting thing here, again, is nobody's adopted the cards.
Yep.
Will CFast become the next generation or not? Will XQD find its
Finally
way into the world?
Become like a standard.
We don't know.
Yeah.
The world may never know.
The card comes in 32, 64, and 128 gig capacities, which will run you $164 for the 32, $364 for the 64, and $800 for the 128.
Well, for some
lot
reference,
of quiche.
that's a lot of cash. But for reference, the 32 gigabyte one that I bought was $99, which was only $10 more than the compact flash of the same speed. So when I saw that they were down to $99, I wasn't as pissed as I used to be because they used to be really expensive.
Yeah.
So now they're the same price. I'm like, okay, no
I mean,
big
32
deal.
gig, $164 for that fast of a card. Yeah,
Right, if you're doing
it's not
4K.
bad. And if you're using like a D4S and you bought a camera that's $7,000, $134 is not much.
Yeah, but
$64.
you're not shooting 4K with the D4S anyway.
No, exactly.
The one thing we didn't talk about was Alan's Palooza.
Yeah, we
Because
did.
we haven't had an episode since then. Did you enjoy yourself?
I had a good time.
I had a good time.
When you interrupted me 3 million times.
I did not interrupt. It's different when you're in front of people.
I know.
You just have to put on a show.
Well, you're the star of the show, obviously.
No, I'm not. I'm the star of the show.
That was a good time, though. I like to... I talked to everyone after for probably like 2 hours. There was that one group of people I was talking to for a while, yeah.
Oh, it's always enjoyable. Alan was very happy.
It's nice meeting everyone.
They had a nice turnout. They ran out of... they had to cut off how many people could get their cameras cleaned because that's what a lot of people wanted.
They cleaned it so fast, too. Every sensor, it was like every 10 minutes was a new sensor
Oh,
cleaned.
yeah. They're very good at that. And they had 2 sensor cleaning people. That was awesome. And they said it was some of the best organized sensor cleanings they've done.
Really?
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, very
which is
good.
really good. And Nikon was very happy. They were showing cameras to everybody. People were really enjoying it.
Yeah.
So we had the RAWtalk going. We had the taco truck going. Sutter bought something.
Oh, yeah, you did buy something.
Actually, Leanne bought something.
Oh, his girlfriend bought something.
Yeah.
What'd she buy?
The same camera I have.
Ah,
We both
the medium
have
format.
Pentax 6.7.
Yes.
With the floppiest shutter in the world.
120.
So it's so loud.
I love that shutter.
So loud.
No, it's vroom.
I don't know
The
why I
mirror
did that.
slap is really, really loud, and it has a cool wooden grip on the side. I
The
don't know.
wooden grip is pretty sweet, actually. Another new camera drone Kickstarter. Every week we talk about this. Introducing the Anora from Aricam, which is so
The
small.
Leora.
No, the Anora. This is
Leora?
Leora's little sister, I guess. It's so small and compact that it's about the size of the iPhone 6 and can fit in your pocket. The new drone works with both Android and iOS and uses your smartphone as both the remote and live view monitor. Now, the downfall is that the max resolution for this thing is only 340 by 288.
Oh, sign me up.
So, like, you're going back to smartphones.
Let me guess
from, like,
the specs. Can I
2004.
guess the specs?
Okay.
I'm going to guess the specs. What's it called? Leora?
The Anora.
Okay, the Annoyinga. And it's not like a Holga, it's annoying.
It actually didn't really give specs, by the way.
Oh, I've got specs. I'm going to give you
the only
specs.
spec I have.
We shoot really shitty photos. We can go for 33 seconds on battery charge before you have to recharge it, and it takes an hour.
We fly 5 feet in the air.
And
Max.
it will max out at about 3.5 centimeters. Thank you. Please support our Kickstarter.
It has roughly 12 to 16 minutes of flight time. I love how they say roughly 12 to 16 minutes. It's like, well, it could be 12 minutes, but it might die. It might last 15 or 16 minutes. I don't know.
I guess it depends on like
Just have to try it out.
if you're like
If you're
full
recording the
throttle,
whole
I guess,
time or-
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, full throttle or just hovering.
It's
Because it takes
already-
more power to use full throttle.
Now, it will, I think, become a reality. It's already raised over 80% of its $100,000 goal with about 6 more weeks to go. Price-wise, backers will get the gizmo for a pledge of $195, which is $75 cheaper than what it will retail for, and they're expected to ship this April if it goes through. Also, if the campaign manages to sell a minimum of 1,000 Anoras, currently at 400, by the way. Aricam promises to add additional features, which include auto takeoff, auto land, return home, and follow me instruction or functions.
E.T.
It is a great concept, though.
You know what? If E.T. was from Philly, it would be
Phone.
It would be E.T. Phone home.
I think it's a good concept. It's just the quality-wise, it's terrible.
Right.
For that resolution,
You
and
might
for
as
that
well not even
price-
put a camera in it.
Yeah, but for having it that small and compact, they said it's the size of 2 iPhone 6s pretty much like sandwiched together, and it'll fit right there.
I guess it's evolution.
Yeah.
People keep trying to evolve the quadrocopter.
Well, this is
drones.
one I would like to get like the second version of because I'm sure they'll obviously bump up the camera specs and all that when it comes
Sure.
to a second Mark II. Speaking of drones, the band OK Go, who are known for their unique music videos, they use,
name an OK Go song.
I can't think of the actual song title, but I know the songs. Those, God, I can't think of the song titles.
Cause a player's gonna play.
Well, you love your pop
And,
music.
Yeah, I can't
But
name
their
it. I
first
can't
song,
name a Go.
The first song was huge. The
Yeah.
one where they did the
yeah.
treadmills.
Oh, the
and
treadmill
stuff.
song. Yeah, what's it called?
I forget what it's called.
Yeah, no shit, because I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
It's the OK Go treadmill song.
But I do like OK Go.
Oh, they're very good at what they
Yeah,
do.
yeah, they
Go
are.
ahead.
But yeah, so they're known for their music videos and kind of their music, I guess. They used a drone to film their latest video in a creative way. The video, which is for their new song, I Won't Let You Down. So there's one song for you.
Yeah, sing a lyric from that song.
I have no idea.
I won't let you down.
Let me down. Don't let me down.
It totally sounds like OK Go.
No, that's the Beatles.
It was done in a single take, as most of their videos are. Shot from the sky, it features umbrella dancers and self-balancing unicycles, which are super cool looking.
Those are awesome.
Awesome looking. And I think they had 1,500 dancers or something. Crazy amount of people. A special tweaked camera drone was used for this. It starts from the ground attached to a dolly, following the band as they go to the massive parking lot. And then it pretty much detached and flew up. Which again, it had like 1,500 dancers, umbrella dancers. The final shot of the video brings the drone about a half-mile into the sky, where each umbrella mimics a pixel, creating a giant moving sign that reads "OK Go." The song title, a big heart. You just got to watch the video
was
to
good.
see it. Really cool, really creative.
Yeah, skip the first half and just wait till the drone goes up
That's
into
very
the air.
true. Yeah,
But look,
the first half kind of sucks.
you can go to froknowsphoto.com/rawtalk-108 to get all these photo news stories and more. The thing about OK Go, they keep evolving their videos. And it gets a lot of play because it's enjoyable. So they wouldn't have lasted this long just off of the treadmill song
I think
if they didn't keep evolving.
I think this is true, but fun fact is that I think the name OK Go comes from when you start recording, like on your phone or something. You always say OK Go every time when you actually start recording a video, and I believe that's where they got the name from, and that's why they're so big into videos, because they were big video guys.
That's great, Stephen. Thanks.
You're welcome. Another fun fact for you: the video took 50 or 60 tries until they perfected it.
Damn.
Yeah, it took forever, and they typically release a behind-the-scenes video of how they pull off their videos. So I'm sure next week we'll have something for you guys posted on the behind-the-scenes of it.
Yo, this is just off to the side. Imagine if OK Go made porn. It took 50 to 60 takes, and then they have a behind the scenes. Oh, shit, I messed up.
50 more times.
Oh, man.
Oh, I messed up
this
again.
is so hard right now. No pun intended. No pun intended. No pun intended.
Tripods are now banned from Oklahoma University football games after a photojournalist named Mike Simmons, after OU football player Sterling Shepard took a fall right into his Canon telephoto lens,
and
injuring
broke it in
himself. Yeah. Now the lens, the $10,000 lens, a Canon 400 2.8, was broken in half. The new sideline policy specifies where photographers can and can't stand, as well as what they can and can't bring to games regarding gear. Simon says, in quotes,
Simon says!
I didn't even think about that. I always think of Die Hard every time. So Simon says, in quotes, some comments have been made about camera gear lying by my side. I have always felt that flat on the ground is the safest place for gear that isn't being used at that particular moment. It is where most photographers keep their gear. It allows me to move out of a player's way quickly, and there are no monopods, the metal poles on the bottom of our cameras, sticking up needlessly. It has worked perfectly for 26 years, so I guess he's never had an incident like this. On Saturday, while lined up with dozens of other photographers in the designated photo area, it didn't work, obviously. So,
yeah.
End quote. From now on, photographers will now have to keep their equipment pretty much attached to them, and they also have to keep monopods strapped onto the lens and the camera.
Which is exactly what he had.
It pretty much is exactly the same. They are banning tripods. They did ban monopods at first, but then they took back their comment saying that they will allow monopods as long as they're attached to a camera or lens. The rules aren't limited to photographers either. Event staff have been instructed to keep photographers' line of sight clear, especially when a play is in progress, and walk behind them whenever possible, which should be common sense anyway.
Right. But no, you can't ban monopods. It's a freak accident that happened.
They did for like a day.
Yeah.
And then they took it back.
If my dad is calling me twice in a row, that's never a good thing.
Uh-oh.
So keep going.
This is really neat. Colorado State student Ryan Howarder created a crazy small pinhole camera out of a single 2x2 Lego brick.
Was it awesome?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's literally
everything is awesome.
That's the theme song too. It's literally a Lego man's like mini camera. It's like this big. It's really cool.
It's pretty cool.
He describes the camera as a piece of brass shim with a pinhole cut in it with tape to cover the bottom of the brick. The brick's tube has been cut out, and the photo paper just rests in the back of the brick. It could shoot film too, but he can't seem to properly develop a piece that small, so he's sticking with photo paper for now. I mean, he could probably develop it on his own, but I guess he doesn't know how to develop it. But you couldn't just bring that to like a camera store and be like, here, develop this little centimeter piece of film for me through your processor.
You could do dip and dunk. Well, actually...
what I'm saying, he probably doesn't know how.
Actually, it would be really hard to do that.
You'd need like tweezers.
Well, yeah, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
When you're processing
I know.
it. You'd need like a special cage that housed it that you could dump I don't know.
That would be tough. It would be hard. That would be really tough. But it's really cool looking. He literally has a little Lego man with holding it and like holding a little piece of photograph paper.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Moving on to bigger and better cameras, Nikon's new D750 is now the 6th camera to make it to the top 10 of DxOMark's sensor list, your favorite list.
Oh, I love DxOMark. They're so amazing right now.
The new body now ranks as number 8, falling right behind, actually the D610 beat the sensor, scoring a 93.
Yeah, in the studio, in the lab.
In the studio, in not the real world.
Not in the real world where
tests.
It really matters what a picture looks like.
Yeah.
Unless you're shooting pictures of DeMarcus. Mr. Chocolate Thunder.
The DxOMark model.
He is, man. You guys, if you're going to Photo Plus, which is already after we do this, after this goes, hopefully you ran into DeMarcus.
DeMarcus.
It's DeMarcus like Williams or something.
We talk about him like every week now.
I love DeMarcus, man. I don't know why he likes us.
Obsessed with him.
I don't know why he likes us because
I don't know.
of me.
He does. He loves us though.
Probably
cool
because
dude.
I don't know why.
Traveling back in time, a photographer's notebook.
Back in time.
I was waiting for that.
Huey Lewis in the news.
your
everybody.
favorite.
Here we are with the 25th anniversary of sports. Huey Lewis in the news. Coming up next, we've got I Want a New Drug.
A photographer's notebook that's thought to be 100 years old has been found in Antarctica.
They should make a movie out of it, and it should end with rain and crying.
And the book belonged to British explorer and photographer George Murray Levick, who was part of Robert Falcon Scott's last expedition to the continent from 1910 to 1913. The notebook is a welcome photographic exposure record and diary, 1910. I guess that's what he called it.
Do you know who would play that guy?
Who?
Who would play the photographer in the photographer's notebook?
I don't know who.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. And it has Levick's name written across the front pages, so obviously it's his. The pages feature exposure settings and details about each shot, like dates, subjects, and locations. And there's a behind-the-scenes video of how the notebook was restored from the Antarctic Heritage Trust. So really cool stuff. It's amazing that this stuff gets preserved and it's 100 years old, but I guess that's what ice does. Astronaut and fellow photographer Chris Hadfield explains how he took sharp, handheld, long exposures in space while traveling at a speed of 4.8 miles per second. Obviously without a tripod. What he does is uses his hand as a gimbal and tracks down in the direction of what he's shooting, for example, Earth, and moves the camera at the same speed Earth is moving below them. All done in zero gravity, of course. The only camera shake he has to worry about is his heartbeat. That's what he says. So he's pretty much tracking Earth, and apparently it's the same exact speed. He just perfectly does it. I don't know how he does it, but he explains it in the video. You can watch that. It's pretty cool stuff.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Set your course and let's freedom burn. 10, 9, 8, 7.
I was just thinking of your German 9.
6. No, I didn't even think of that. Go ahead.
That's what I was thinking of. And finally, we have one last story. Cambridge, Massachusetts based photographer Bimal Nepal had their image stolen by a head government figure, the Prime Minister of India.
What's his name?
You know what? The name of the Prime Minister is Narendra Modi.
Narendra Modi. You have been a naughty, naughty boy.
So last week, the Indian Prime Minister, again, Narendra Modi, he published a modified version, one of his Flickr photos, on his Facebook page to wish his 23.4 million followers greetings on Dhanteras. I guess that's an Indian holiday.
Oh, yeah. See that? I'm holding back my go ahead.
Wait, do you actually know what this is, or are you just...
No. I don't want to offend my Indian readers
because forward, but
because I almost did Apu.
Oh yeah,
you know, it'd just be like
Simpsons.
Because I don't think all Indians sound like that.
No. So it quickly got nearly 450,000 plus likes, 40,000 plus shares, and 15,000 plus comments. No credit given, no permission asked, nothing. The photo remains posted.
You asked me for credit?
The photo remains posted. Nothing changed at all. So I guess this issue's already over, but yeah, nothing happened. And again, this thing went all over Facebook in India.
I mean, at this point, you have no control over stuff going out into the world, whether you get credit or not.
And even if you do, it's already after the fact. It's already too late.
Yeah,
what's the point?
I remember all those times in the old days, before the internet, when a magazine would publish my work and go, oh, we forgot your byline. Oh, we'll do a retraction next time. I'm like, that doesn't serve anybody's purpose. It's not running next to my photo.
Oh, the one thing we forgot to do.
We forgot to put your name in there. Well, isn't that... And then I started doing things like, if you don't put my name in there, you owe me double.
Yeah.
You know, and then they start getting the shit right.
Yeah.
I don't worry about people stealing photos anymore. The watermark debate is still a debate. I don't mind a little watermark if it's out of the way. And there, if you want for the marketing and branding purposes. I know I put up that rapid fire critique the other day. It is personal preference. We know that Stuck in Customs guy, Trey Ratcliffe, puts up those full res images.
Which is great.
You know, it would detract from the image if his logo was there. I do get if you're doing events for other people that you put a logo there so when they share it on Facebook, they know whose it is, but it's got to be unobtrusive. It's got to stay out of the way. And don't worry if somebody's going to crop it out. If they're going to take the time to crop it out, then
who cares? Yeah, at that point.
Seriously.
I just wonder what this dude's Flickr was set to as far as like Creative Commons and attribution and all the
Right.
rights. I wonder if he had it that you could share it publicly, or if he had it that, you know, you had to attribute him. I don't know. But so that's all the news this week.
Okay.
Okay?
So it's time. Thank you for your photo news.
You're so welcome.
Why don't I rant? Then do we do Gear of the Week before flying solo or after?
We typically do it in the middle, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
But you can do it whenever you want.
Let's do a rant.
Okay.
Okay, here's my rant, everybody.
Ranty McRanterson.
Before I get to the rant, why don't we talk about the Froknows Photo Guide to DSLR Video, which was recently released. It's actually out as of November 1st.
Oh, technically, yeah.
And technically, this is available. So if you've been waiting for the Froknows Photo Guide to DSLR Video, you can go check it out at whatever the link is. I think it's froknowsphoto.com/DSLR.
You can see it on the screen right now.
Yeah, put it on the screen, please. And they can you can actually click it. Just put that up and the cover of the photo.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that DNG.
Gotcha.
And it's not a DNG, it's a PNG.
PNG.
So you can check it out. But it's 50% off. Basically, we wanted to sell for $197. Launch sale, 50% off, $97, $107 for the DVD because it's more expensive because we have to produce it. It's 4 DVDs this time. It's a 6-hour guide.
6 hours.
We've
wow.
talked about it plenty before. My suggestion is you go check out the preview page. It not only shows you 8 minutes of what's in the guide, but it has all of the other information about what you can find in it. And I think once you watch this, you're going to see that whether you're a beginner or you're a professional who has never switched into video, you're going to see that this is going to give you the knowledge, and it's going to take the fear out of what you're doing and save you a lot of money over going to school or wasting time trying to figure out or find free stuff online that you may not be able to find. Please check it out. We spent a lot of time on it, obviously. And if anything, if you've found over the last 4 years, 4+ years, and 1,700+ free videos, if you found value in any of these RAWtalks, in anything that we've created, and you think you may want to pick this up, that is one way that you can support the site.
Yeah.
But better yet, I think you're going to learn a lot from it. You're not just throwing your money away with it, because we do offer a money-back guarantee if it doesn't help you. But if you just want to support the site, that's one way that you can go ahead and do it, and we can continue to travel and do mobile RAWtalks and make more content.
And everything else, yeah.
Like the D750 review, like the D810 review, like the 7D Mark II review that's going to be coming up soon.
Yep.
Boom. Rant time.
Rant time.
My cousin's wedding.
Yes.
All right? She got married.
How was it?
Wedding was fine. Wedding was good. She asked about photographers, so I gave her a recommendation, and she told me what she was looking for, what type of photo she wanted, and I'm like, Tattooed Bride, Mike Allerbach.
Nice.
You should go with him.
And we did a RAWtalk with him, actually.
We did do a RAWtalk with him.
I forget what episode, but we'll put that on the screen.
Exactly. I recommended him.
Yeah.
And then he had his pricing at whatever it was, and they had their budget at whatever it was. And they came back to me and they said, well, we really love his work, but we're not sure we can make the budget work. Do you recommend anybody else? I'm like, no. I'm like, pay him.
How much were they off by?
Like $400.
That's it.
That's it. Oh, I yelled at her. Oh, I yelled, and I don't think she listens to this, but I was like, give me a freaking break.
Yeah.
You love the guy's work. You want to chintz out on that?
Yeah.
I go, for me to try to find, you want somebody else? I'm like, I'm not recommending anybody else. They sent me some other links. I'm like, stop price shopping. You're going to get something you're not going to be happy with. And then you're going to be like, oh, that $400 was nothing. Well, that was my gift. I paid the $400 because I got pissed off.
Did you really? Wow.
Yeah, that was my gift to them.
Good for you.
I'm just like, you know what? I'll pay the difference. Whatever. But that's not the rant. The rant isn't about that. But pay the photographer the money they're worth. Take it from the flowers.
If it's under $1,000 too, I highly just give out the extra cash.
If it's under $500, for God's sake. If you're so close, or just
I'm
ask
saying I
them.
would even pay $1,000 if I was that close.
Yeah, you know that's the
It's
thing.
the one day.
Certain things you can skip out on. To me, flowers are something that are going to die and go away and be gone in a matter of, well, one-time usage.
Yeah.
Your photos are the only thing that live on from the wedding other than you and the first year of the cake.
Even the video doesn't really live on that much.
Well, if they do video.
If
a
they
lot
do
of people
video.
don't do video
That's
for
true.
weddings.
A lot of them don't.
So the photos are going to be very good. He did a great job. But the rant is about this. And hopefully, if they're listening, they're listening. There's always somebody there that brings a professional camera. It was a 5D Mark III with a 24-105. It's one thing to sit in the back and take some pictures. It's another thing to be in the front row the seat closest to the aisle with their 580EX on top, turning around as people are coming down the aisle, rapid firing flashes up the aisle and then around while you're sitting on the edge. You're not the photographer for the wedding.
Was he getting in the way? She getting in the way?
Her flash was, if Mike is sitting in the aisle to get photos, she's firing flashes back at him.
Oh, God.
And back at them. And it's just like, I don't care if you're an amateur and I don't care if you're a professional. If you go to a wedding as a guest, you leave your DSLR at home.
I agree.
You leave it at home because there's a hired photographer there. It is disrespectful for you to start taking photos with the professional camera when there's somebody there that's already paid to do it. You want some snapshots? Fine. But you get in the way of the actual photographer doing their job. I would, if I was the photographer for the event, I'd probably go up to the bride at some point, or actually for this, the wedding's going on, you can't say anything, but I would walk up to the person and be like, look, you got to stop. I'm here to shoot, and you are getting in the way.
Yeah.
Like, I know you want to get
at the
photos.
Reception maybe, but not
well,
during
if you want to have
ceremony.
it at the reception, or you want to do some group shots before, put your camera away during the ceremony, but at least turn the flash off.
Well, and the worst is that when they're coming down the aisle, they're looking at her probably versus him.
It's possible because she's up
maybe
higher.
She's the second shooter.
I mean, they know her. But yes, it could be distracting. They could be looking at the wrong place.
Yeah.
It comes down to the bride and stuff. Probably on the invitations, it's like, leave your cameras at home. Leave your professional cameras at home. We hired a photographer. I don't think you need to say that because most people won't do it. But if you ever encounter this at a wedding as a photographer, this is what I've done in the past. I try to be cordial. I try to be nice. But I've had photographers stand next to me to try to get every shot. If I'm taking a group shot, nobody else is shooting a photo. And I make sure of that. And I say, look, I'll give you time to take a group photo after I'm done. But I need you to put your camera down and stay off to the side so that everybody is looking at me and I don't have 2 eyes over here and 3 eyes over here. I'll give you time to take a photo, but get out of here. You have to assert yourself. You're not going to offend you may offend somebody, but you're being paid to get the photos.
Yeah.
So sometimes your job, you have to say something to get the photo. And that's what you need to do. So I was just sitting there, and I'm a couple rows back. I don't bring a camera because I know that the photographer's there to take photos. He's professional. And his second shooter. But to sit in the front row and have your big ass flash on there and just pop it off, it's not right.
Yeah.
I don't care if
like you said, it's disrespectful.
She's like, "Where's your camera?" I'm like, "It's not my job. This is not my job.
My job today is to enjoy it.
I'm here to enjoy the wedding and not worry about the photos."
That actually happened, though, at my sister's wedding. We were doing group photos at the end of the ceremony in front of the church, in front of the altar, and he was taking a group photo, and there was my aunt or someone behind him, like, taking a picture, and people started to look at her, and he went off, and he was like, "Hey, look, like, I know you want a picture, but I will give you all the time you want after this is taken. I just need you not to do anything right now.
Yeah.
I need to take this photo. They need to look at me. This lasts forever. Yours lasts on Facebook for a month." You know?
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to
He
yell
didn't go
at them,
into it
and you
that
don't have to
much,
do
but-
that. Just be like, "Look, please."
They came up to me after, and they were like, "Oh, he like yelled at me," and I'm like, "Yeah,
He
but you have to
should have yelled
put yourself in his shoes and see why he did that." And I explained to him, and they're like, "Oh, okay, makes sense now." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Well, you need to think of that.
Yeah.
You need to think of that. You can't be a distraction.
no,
So that's what I got about my rant. So
Nice rant.
please don't be that person.
yep, don't be that guy."
Take pictures before, take pictures after, put the camera away. Just put it away. Really enjoy it. There's a photographer there for a reason. And that's it.
Drink your Fireball.
Yeah, which has been recalled.
Yeah.
Let's get into Flying Solo, where I ask you guys questions, and at some point we'll get into the gears of the week. Oh, geez. Joakim. Erikstrom. Ekstrom. So that's Okerman, because the J's silent. Have you
I
ever...
believe it's pronounced Yogging.
Yogging. It's Joachim. Wait, maybe it's Joaquim.
Joaquin Phoenix?
But he's Ekstrom. Have you ever thought about doing a day for Jared? Short video where we see your routine of what you do during a day.
Day in the life.
We know you work a lot and spend a lot of time on Froknows Photo, but it would be cool to see how you plan for your website, jobs, and content. I love your videos, and I have learned almost all my skills from your videos, guides, and RAWtalks with other photographers and guests. Your site is definitely one of a kind, and that's why I have stayed and learned so much. Thanks, Jared. Wait, I'm Jared. Thanks, Jared. Thanks, Jared.
Thanks, comma.
I've thought about it, but unless I'm actually doing something through a day, like, I mean, I'm doing stuff. I'm always freaking working and doing something. But most of my time is spent either sitting or standing at my up desk now.
I was going to say, it'd be a video of just you,
It's
time
like
lapse of you at the computer.
Here, you ready?
Going up and down.
Here's my routine. Wake up. Get out of bed. Drag a comb across my head. Second straight. Then, you know what song that is?
No.
Really?
The
Woke
one you just
up,
like
got out of
mumbled?
bed, dragged the comb across my head.
No, what is it?
And I made it bust in seconds. And
Oh, that song.
It's the Beatles.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I get up, get out of bed, do my thing, walk downstairs to my desk, start working, have lunch, start working again after lunch, have dinner, continue to work after dinner, maybe watch a show or something, then go back to the computer, then go to bed at like 1 or midnight. I do a lot of freaking work. So one day we'll do that. Andy Dunn, when you are a one-man band, how do you succeed at taking video and photos during an event? Both suffer when I need to do both. The answer is you have to do one or the other. You have to set time aside to either do video or do photos. You can't do both at the same time. It's just not going to happen. It detracts from what you're trying to do, because if you sit there and go, oh snap, I want to, I'm ready to take photos, but then you're second guessing yourself saying, should I shoot video? Now you're switching off to shoot video and you're missing the photos that you should have got instead of focusing on the video. You have to set time constraints on yourself. I've done this at concerts. I've shot a couple songs. I've shot the next couple songs in video. Then I've shot a couple songs. Then I shot the next couple songs in video. I've just done the switch over, but I'm dedicated to one or the other at that particular time.
Or I would at least get the safe shots out of the way first and then maybe do it. And what I would do a lot of times is do the user or custom mode and save settings in video mode. That way I can switch between manual and the custom mode.
Mark Payne. And I'll need to pick one of these people for
Wheel of Fro
at some point. Jared, when you critique images, do you just use gut feel, or is there a structure to your process? Are there any specific areas you try to cover each time? Thanks. Oh, it's a feel. To me, editing is a feel. I've never understood when people have yelled at me for being like, your histogram is off. Look at your curves. Your curves are so bad. I'm like, well, I'm not looking at my curves. I'm looking at the photo. I'm looking at what I am tweaking to get a visual representation of what it looks like.
Hulk Hogan style.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not Hulk Hogan.
Slim Jim.
But that's not Hulk Hogan.
I know. Whoever that guy was. I forget his name.
Macho Man. Randy Savage.
He just died, didn't he?
I'm coming for you. This is when I was a kid, and it was like I was like 6 or 7 years old, and you had like the Russians, the tag team Russians, and they used to sit there looking. They would talk to the one guy, the Microman guy. I don't know if that was the Microman guy or not. You remember Microman? Micro Machines?
Micro Machines.
Yeah, the guy who used to talk, and there was the guy with the mustache. I don't remember his name. He was the commentator guy.
Okay.
But they would look at the camera and they'd be like, "Coming for you," and then they'd go like this, and I'm like. And I stepped to the side of the TV so that he wasn't pointing at me. I'm like, why is he pointing at me?
Get under your blankets.
Ma, the Russian guy's pointing his finger at me again. He's saying he's gonna get me.
He's gonna get me like he got Rocky.
So that's it's a gut feel.
That's funny.
But that's what used to happen when I used to watch WWF.
But editing's, I mean, everyone's different with their editing.
Right.
I don't think anything is right or wrong.
No.
I mean, your style is way different than my style,
We
for
all
example.
have different styles.
But yeah, everything's
So
different.
it's all a feel. Denver to clear. If a client that has promised you work doesn't contact you after a while, how do you ask him what's up without sounding like a prick or sounding desperate? So if a girl if you slept with a girl and she doesn't get back to you after a while, do you reach out to her again to wonder why she isn't sleeping with you? It's the same thing. They're not gonna give. Wait a second. Has a girl promised you sex and then not gotten back to you because she's promised you sex and you still haven't had sex with her? Do you think getting in touch with her may be the answer? Probably not. She's already moved on to sleep with somebody else. That's what I mean. It's the same thing.
Good analogy, yeah.
It really is. If somebody promises are like blue sky, reality is reality, and that is your heartfelt quote of the day. Reality is reality.
I feel like I'm listening to a motivational tape.
Right. How many times have you been online sexting with a girl and she promised you something, then when you get her in your bed, it didn't happen. Do you tell her that you promised me this? I did. Actually, it didn't work.
And you were shit out of luck.
And she's like, screw you. I'm going home. John Mowry. So I'm a volunteer photographer for my kids' high school marching band. I treat the site. I guess he takes care of the site. I treat the site and photos I publish as a brand that represents the product I produce. I've been doing it solo for the past 3 years. Recently, another parent started taking photos also. In taking photos, they want me to publish them all. Okay, too many alsos. Others in the band organization told the parent that the photos were under control. How would you go about being polite, but asserting that what you publish is a brand, even if it's just the high school band? You just basically cut off their access to the field or access to them. Really, you're just like, look, I know that you have a camera and you want to take pictures. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to help me in the future. If I need some help, maybe you could do some behind-the-scenes stuff. See if their work is capable of doing that, or if you could use them to help you.
Yeah.
But you just have to say, like, look, I'm doing this. They have me doing this. I'm covering it, so please stay out of this area. It's just one of those things. You have to assert yourself. If it's your job and your brand, and they start to encroach, everything is competition. I am nice, and I share all this information out into the world, but if it came down to me getting a job or somebody else getting a job, I'm going to fight my ass off to get that job. I remember my college teacher, 4x5 teacher, really awesome teacher, Ed Marco, awesome guy. I really liked him. And he used to stand in front of the class. He goes, look, if you graduate and you're going up against me to get a job, I'm getting that job. I didn't think that was a dick thing to say. It's competition.
Yeah.
It's business.
Is this guy getting paid for it right now, or is he just?
I don't think he's getting
out?
paid. I think he just does it. It's his job.
He said he was volunteering.
Okay.
Wasn't he?
It says he's volunteering, and then he probably gets maybe.
But I mean, is it technically his job? I guess he is.
Yes, because he's
He is
known
in
as the
charge of
band's
it.
photographer
Okay,
for
gotcha.
that. So, and he takes care of the stuff. So, see if there's a way first to ask if you could help. Like, hey, why don't you shoot the photos from the stands and get me the wide angles?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, and maybe I'll publish those unless they're complete and utter garbage,
But you never know. Maybe they're actually good.
or maybe they're good.
Mm-hmm.
Nico Ramos. What if the U.S. president, or what if the president of the United States asked you to be the official photographer or his official photographer, but first you have to do two things?
I know what one of them's going to be.
Unzip his pants.
What?
That is not one of them.
I didn't
one,
think that.
to lose the fro.
Yep, that was one.
Two, to give up the site, maybe for security reasons. Would you do it?
That's tough, because you would love that job.
I don't know that I can answer it. I mean, I don't know that I could actually. I mean, that's like at least 4 years or 8 years, or at this point 2 years of your life that you're going to lose the business. But then you're the president's photographer, and you see I'd get bored of the job.
Really?
Give me let me do it for a week.
He's doing something different like every day.
Yeah.
He's not sitting in the Oval Office every day, all day.
No, but I don't like that type of photography. I like the behind the scenes type, but I don't want to have to be like dignitaries.
See, I do like the photojournalistic style, but then again, you are just taking pictures of him shaking hands.
Right. If I didn't have the website, I'd probably do it. But
yeah.
Would I turn it down? No. I think I would probably cut my hair and just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you turn down being that close to that type of person?
And you get to travel the world.
Well, you get to see things that other people. You get to see and hear things
that nobody
and know things
gets to
that
see.
Very few people in history have ever been able to do it.
Oh yeah.
So I would do that, and I'd still be allowed to blog because Pete Souza does that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'd retrofit this. I'd be like, you know what, Obama? I'm keeping my hair, and I'm going to do the job anyway. How about them apples?
Boom.
CJ Evans. 1. Seen you chatting to Scott Kelby on Twitter. Anything in the works? No. No, I've just been tweeting at him. Would you go back on Twip if they invited you? I'm going back on Twip. They invited me.
I know.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the Froknows Photo Guide to DSLR Video.
I thought you were banned for life.
I banned myself. That was self-imposed. We discussed it. I'll tell you more about it when we get off camera. So remind me.
That's funny.
Gary Arbuckle.
You like that last name?
Gary Arbuckle. What do you think about bringing in your dad once in a while for insight on the business end of photography? Maybe call it Questions for Pop. Or Questions for Fro's father. What do you think? Once a month, have my dad, not for RAWtalk, but have his own podcast?
He should do the sports podcast. That's what I think he should do.
The sports podcast.
And maybe mix in business with that.
Well, he can mix in business.
Photography, though.
No, it wouldn't be photography. I think it would just be general discussions for an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe I would bring Leno in and have them both sit here and let them go to town talking sports. But if I start talking personal things, I think the offensive meter may go up.
Yeah, definitely.
The offensive meter. I maybe we'll try it because people seem to enjoy my dad's input on the last RAWtalk.
The hockey talk you had for 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was
on a
good,
photography
though.
podcast.
It was good hockey talk. Patrick Gorski, have you or Steven ever been a part of or shoot for any wire services such as Corbis, Getty, USA Today Images, etc.? Would you recommend this way to pursue sports photography? If not, what would you suggest to someone wanting to pursue this? I've turned down shooting for Getty because of the splits. I think it's a disgrace. They're giving everybody stuff away. So why would I work with them when I can?
We have a couple of friends that
have
shoot for
stopped
them.
shooting concerts. By the way,
They have, and the radio events and a couple other things.
they have
too.
stopped. Remember when he's like, "I'm going to wait and see how it hurts my bottom line."
The free embed stuff, you mean?
At this point, he's
Getty.
like, I stopped shooting concerts.
Yeah.
I stopped shooting concerts because they just give it away.
The one guy I know who shoots for Wired, I believe he still shoots concerts.
Edgar?
Not Edgar.
Edgar will shoot
not
anything.
the paparazzo. Not him.
So, no, I would not shoot for any of these people. Very few people. This is hard. I'm not trying to tell you that you're not going to follow your dream or anything because you can always do that. Sports photography is all either freelancers at this point. There are very few staff people that do it. It's not easy. It's very hard to break into it. Sports Illustrated doesn't exist almost anymore. Their whole photography game has changed. I don't know what to tell you. If you want to pursue it, then put your freaking mind to it and find a way to do it. It's not going to be easy. I'm not telling you not to try. I'm just making you aware that it won't be easy.
I would do it if it was something music related, like if they sent me like a Michael Zorn situation where they sent him to Bonnaroo and be the official photographer for Getty, for Bonnaroo, or for Coachella or another music festival that I just want to go to. That is the only case that I would actually do it. I don't really care about the split when it comes to that. I just care about the music and being there.
Got it. I wouldn't do it anymore.
I dig music.
I'm on drugs! All right, Ted.
Classic.
Ted, don't call me Ulrich. Jared, I feel like I'm only good because of my gear. I remember you saying you received such an evaluation once from a teacher or mentor. How did you overcome it? Yeah, Mr. Is said, I think you're only good because of your gear. And at the time, how did I overcome it? I shut down and stopped working in his class. I was like, screw this guy.
Sad Jared.
It wasn't a motivate. That didn't motivate me. That motivated me to be pissed off, and then I used that pissed offness to say, screw you, I'm going home, and I'm just going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But when you look back in retrospect, I didn't have great. I was shooting a Canon EOS Elan for his class, or I may have gotten an F5 at some point. But yes, I had better gear at the time than I should have, or not that I should have. I didn't learn on a full manual camera. And it took me 6, 7, 8, 9 years to finally switch into manual, if not more, to understand how I should set the camera myself. It did, because I always relied on aperture priority for a long time. So he was right, but it didn't motivate me. If you think you just got to keep shooting.
Yeah. Practice
shooting.
makes perfect. I say it all the time.
Doug DeFrank. I'd like to hear your take on various RAW options available. For example, 12-bit versus 14-bit, compressed versus lossless versus uncompressed. Any situations where you might choose one combo over the other? You can also add RAW small for both Nikon and Canon for certain cameras. But personally speaking, if I'm shooting a picture, it's RAW 14-bit uncompressed. It is the top of the line quality that I can use. If it's a Nikon D750, it's 14-bit lossless compressed because they don't give me the option to do uncompressed there.
Which doesn't make sense. I don't get why they have that option.
And as you get
Or
into
not
the
as an
lower
option.
and lower cameras,
Yeah.
it's raw compressed, no 14-bit.
Yeah.
Look, I want the best file that I can possibly get. And that means shooting at the top of the line that the camera's going to give me. I wanted to do that. Good?
Good.
Akeem J. Casey. I think your dad had a podcast or a feature. Oh, okay. If. He forgot the if. Forgot the F after the I. If. No. So, I'll take out the think. If you... I don't know. I'm adding words. I think your dad should have a podcast or a featured segment on RAWtalk every now and then. I think it would go over well. You can tell he's a treasure trove of knowledge and wisdom.
Treasure trove.
Yeah, he's
of
a treasure
knowledge and
trove,
wisdom.
all right, of knowledge and wisdom. I think we may just do a late night with my dad. Why don't we? We'll try something.
Dude,
We'll-
we're gonna have 3 podcasts at that point. The
Well,
movie
the
show,
movie show-
this, and that.
I think his would maybe be once a month and just figure out
That would be fine.
something.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't think it should be a long one though.
I who knows how long. I think it's just his thoughts and ideas. Be very, very careful.
He would break your balls, man.
Yeah.
The whole podcast.
It would be
Which
interesting.
I love to see.
Darren Michael Turner, do you prefer gloss or matte finish on your big ass prints and why? Thanks. I prefer luster.
Mixture.
If you have the option for luster, I do luster. Now, when it comes to the Adorama Pix aluminized prints, I go ahead and use, depending on the print, it could be the glossy with the white underneath, or it could be the white underneath, dull, non-gloss. It all depends on where you're hanging the stuff and what you want it to be. The glossy is so vibrant, but it's extremely reflective like a mirror. I think that one over there actually isn't that bad. The RAWtalk one that's the mirror finish too.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like their metallic finish they do as well, which is kind of like the aluminized print but on photographic paper.
Well, that's a metallic print using metallic paper.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
But it's
for
not on a
while.
piece of metal though.
No, it's just paper that
yeah,
way.
But I like that a lot. I did a couple of shots with that, and they just so vibrant.
David Ryland. Hey, Fro. Swedish girls or American girls? What do you think?
Oof. I mean, I don't know any Swedish girls, so I'm gonna have to say American girls.
American girls, all leather and
That's my
probably
input.
Swedish girls because Swedish girls are pretty damn hot.
I guess I don't know. I've never really seen.
And
any,
he's got a
so-
request. Can you sing an ABBA song?
Oh God.
I had to look up ABBA song.
I was gonna say.
forgot,
I bet you put a note on what song.
I
there
forgot about Dancing Queen.
You can dance, you can jive. Give me all the dancing queen. Dancing queen, only 17. Oh, you can dance, you can jive. Having the time of your life.
That's almost like Bee Gees style.
What you doing on your back? Dancing, yeah! What you doing on your back?
All right, I want to do Gear of the Week now.
Okay, sounds good.
So I'm going to need you to talk about something while I go. Oh, why don't I give you one of the things?
Okay.
I'm going to go get the Gear of the Week.
This
So
is
go
the Gear
ahead.
of the Week?
Well, it is the Gear of the Week.
Okay.
What do you think Gear of the Week was?
this.
That is the Gear of the Week.
Then what are you getting?
I put it to good use.
Oh, okay. So this is the Photo Freeze Fun. They are basically ice cube trays that make little camera flashes and camera bodies, so you can make ice cubes out of this cool stuff.
It's actually kind of neat.
It is
to be
pretty
honest.
neat. And Jared usually makes actually they have lenses too.
Lenses, flashes,
They have
and
lenses,
bodies.
flashes, and bodies. And you made some.
Yeah, but
you
do you know
usually
what-
always do the Death Star.
I
You have
do.
the
I
Star
usually have the
Wars
Death
one,
Star, but
and
there's
it's so big.
Some of this ice has a little bit of yellow on it.
Ugh.
I didn't
What'd you
pee in
pee?
it, but do you see these two right here?
Yeah.
So turns out that bourbon doesn't freeze, which I
Is that why you texted me like last night at like midnight? You're like, it turns out whiskey doesn't freeze or whatever.
would you like some?
Not really, but I'll take one for the team.
This is yeah, it doesn't freeze. Can you get it?
I was also wondering why there was a straw on the table.
Oh, that's because I got I've got the
Wait, can you take one of
Oh
the ice
my
cubes
God.
out? Can you see it?
Oh yeah, you want me to take an ice cube
Yeah,
out?
take one out. Take a body and a flash and a lens. Maybe we can make a little makeshift ice camera.
Yeah,
For those that are listening,
Yeah, this is not fun
Jared's
if you're
attempting
listening.
to get it out.
I'm attempting
to whip it out.
Yeah, but maybe we should drink the.
Put it away. Put it away.
Okay, yeah, it came out.
Does it look good?
Here, there's a lens, and here's a glass for you.
It looks like a lens, I guess. That's freezing.
And here is Here is a longer lens.
No, that's a body, I think.
This
isn't it? Or is that a full? They have the full kit too. They have the body and the lens.
It shouldn't stick. What
the trays are made out of this like rubber material, which I guess is really
all right. Well,
not letting the ice come apart.
That's a camera. That's like a point and shoot. All right, they're fun. But anyway, so I poured in some. What did I pour in here? I poured in some bullet, so it didn't freeze. So we got to get rid of it.
This looks like a Fuji like X Pro 1.
It does, yeah. Yeah, Sutter said this looks like a Fuji X Pro 1, and I have to agree on that.
Because it like raises up on the one side.
Would you like to use some ice that have been in everyone's hands?
Oh, would you like one?
No, I'm good.
You don't want a shot?
No, I don't want a shot.
I put it in the smallest lens one. You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Take another one.
Take another one?
Drunk Jared. For those that don't know, Jared gets drunk off like half a shot, and that's like 2 right there.
All right. And that is the gear of the week.
I want to know why they're yellow. Why are the other ones yellow?
Oh, because they got some whiskey on it? No, that's what happened. Is they ended up getting whiskey on it. Anyway, sorry if that really sucked, but literally, my experiment was to try to get the ice cubes out.
The best is the catchphrases they have on the packaging.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, give your cocktails extra snap.
Look, this looks really good. It's based off of a Canon camera. Look. Ba-chink! This is actually the... this is what comes out of it. So how much are these things? Do we know?
I actually don't know.
I think it's like $9.99. I don't know. You can order it. What's it called again?
This is Photo Freeze Fun, all with PH. That is fat with a PH.
And that's all we have to say about that.
For the flashiest ice drinks you've ever made.
Oh,
Freeze the action. You get it?
Oh, yeah. That's great. Thanks. You can check those things out. I got them because I thought I would use... I mean, they're cool little ice cube things.
And now you can actually fit the whole ice cube in your glass, where before you had the Death Star,
man.
That you're like crushing to put in there.
All right. Here we go. Donald Smith Fro. No, Donald Smith Fro. I'm thinking of shooting with film. However, I don't want to process them with chemicals or pay a second party, it would be a third party, to develop them. Which film scanner would you use and how effective are these devices? Well, I got this one. You sit there and put your hand down.
Oh.
First off, if you don't process your negatives, you won't be able to scan them.
Yes.
So somebody has to process your film negatives.
Has to be done.
In order to get them scanned. I really think that's the legitimate... I think that's the question here. You can't expose the film to the scanner. Sutter?
If he is looking for a scanner and he's shooting 35mm, look for a Kodak Pacon scanner. It's P-A-K-O-N. It's a really nice scanner. It's like $300.
Or pick up an Epson because Kodak's out of business.
But that's a flatbed. You're going to have to cut your negatives, where the Pacon, you can keep them uncut.
Keep the whole strip
uncut. If you can... I remember that back in the day, they had a SCSI version at the camera store.
Yeah.
You would put the whole roll in there, and it would feed it one by one, but it was a SCSI, and nobody uses SCSI anymore. So you couldn't really convert it to USB. Michael Sergej.
How you feeling, by the way?
I feel all right. Do you have any rituals before and or after a shoot? The only rituals that I have for a shoot is just being prepared and getting in the zone. I think it's extremely important to get in the zone. My phone's ringing because I'm waiting for a borrow lenses order.
Gotcha.
It's Alan's camera, who's telling me that my 7D Mark II has come in.
Hi, Jared, your 7D Mark II.
I'm not going to answer it. We'll get it later.
Do you want to pick it up right now?
But no, my 7D
Jared,
Mark II came in.
Please come now.
So I'm going to go buy the 7D Mark II. We are buying the freaking 7D Mark II.
We are.
And I borrowed 4 lenses from Borrowed Lenses to test it out, to do a real-world review of.
Yep.
That's what I have to say about that.
That'll be fun.
But that my pre-shoot ritual is just getting in the zone. I get quiet. I really do. I get into this shooting mode. I get in my own head. So
and you're really big on preparation, like you said. You triple check things. I mean, when we do mobile RAWtalks or go on vacation, go to say Photokina, we prepare like crazy.
Yep.
And pack like crazy.
Pablo Picard, not Captain Picard.
Picasso.
If someone offers you a lot of money for your brand, would you sell it? Or you think the brand is you?
We definitely had this question before.
Well, yeah, but I am the brand.
Mm-hmm.
it would be very hard to sell. But would there be a number I would sell it for? Oh, what would I do with myself? So I would have money, more money.
You could shave your head and be like bald in a photo.
But what would
Start
I
a whole
do?
new brand.
I mean, I would go into production and producing other people's stuff and stuff like that. Would I still work for it? If I wasn't allowed to work for it, then I mean, unless the number was so good.
So good.
But maybe even not. I was listening to Mark Zuckerberg speak one day. This was pre-going public. This was like 2006 or something. A very early interview. And they're like, so you've been offered like $100 million for your company. Why would you turn it down? He's like,
it's worth more.
He's like, no, it's not the worth more part. He's like, you get maybe one opportunity to create something big.
One shot.
To lose yourself in the moment. You better use it, own it. No, you get one opportunity in a lifetime maybe to create something this good. What else would I do? So I have a lot of money, but I didn't take it to its fullest extent. So I think that's the thing. I don't think I could get rid of it.
Yeah, and you'd be really young and bored all the time.
I don't think $10 million would do it.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think it would do it. I mean, what would I do?
I don't know.
I get bored just sitting. I get bored already.
Yeah. You get bored working.
Art Dye. Have you made arrangements beyond a will? What happens to your site, your social media, your brand, and your hard drives with your life's work?
Everything goes to Steven.
I haven't written one. I've actually thought about this when Lil died, because I mean, I don't think she had a will. She didn't have anything left.
Yeah.
You know, everything went towards medical. Everything went towards the stay where she was, and she didn't have anything growing up anyway.
At that point, she doesn't have anyone to look after really either.
Right. I need to write something to determine what would happen with all my stuff, or at this point, the brand. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to create more videos, or if we do have those 300 videos in the can, you can keep releasing them.
Oh.
And you can keep selling products.
Yeah.
But the money needs to go somewhere. So I would probably have a foundation formed for scholarships or something like that to help people, but I hope that doesn't happen. But I really need to look into it at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, I mean, I don't have a wife or anything.
You don't think about that stuff because you don't want to think about that
Well,
stuff.
I thought about it. I did think about it last week, but I'm like, because I have a life insurance policy, which I think I forgot to take with me, and I got to go pay it.
Uh-oh.
But it's not very much. Like my dad, you know, they start it when you're a kid, and you can cash it out if you want to cash it out. But I'm like, well, but who would I leave everything to? It's not like I have anybody.
Yeah.
You know, so that. Brian Zalewski, to go along with your new DSLR video tutorial DVD coming out within a week, when should photographers start incorporating video into their photography tool bag? You're a tool bag. Right away, or should they get a good understanding of photography first before adding video? It's important to get a fundamentals, I think, of photography. I think photography is... It's much easier for somebody who understands how to shoot with a DSLR to shoot photos to then transition to shooting video than it is for a video person who just knows that they set their shutter speed here and here to then go ahead and shoot stills.
Yeah,
I think that
I agree
our
on that.
compositional eye, I think our eyes are better as photographers than most videographers. I'm sure that's a generalization, but in some cases, I think in most cases it's correct. I'm sure there's a couple of people out there who are you know, really, really damn good, but I mean, the truth of the matter is, in this day and age, it's very important to be at the cutting edge of technology and the changes in the business. If you're not offering video to your clients anymore, you're probably leaving a lot on the table. Just having the knowledge to do it. I mean, I talked to Fusco. A guy like Fusco, who's doing a lot of corporate portraits and stuff, can turn around and make an EPK. So you turn a $1,000 job into a $4,500 job because you're charging $3,000 to do the video. Now, that's just an inflated number, but that's the truth. It's something that you can offer. It's just something to offer. And I think you should look in. I really think anybody today that says things like, well, I used to do this with Flash. No, I don't shoot Flash. I like you shooting available light. That's because I didn't understand how to shoot Flash. I wasn't comfortable with it. Or if you sit there and you say, well, I don't want to shoot video. I'm a still photographer. Times have changed. Times have changed, and still photography has evolved. Like, I get bored shooting just stills. I think when I go to a place and I get done, I've shot enough stills. Well, now I want to focus on capturing some footage because certain things are better in video.
Very true.
And other things are better in stills. So it all varies.
And not every client's going to want what you offer. If you offer the bonus package of video, they might decline it, but just the fact that you offer that,
Yep.
you might have someone that wants it.
It's time for me to trim my mustache. It just got stuck in one of the grates, and that hurt. You saw that.
I did, yeah.
Sutter, time for the wheel to come around?
Sure.
You have enough time to do that?
Yep, we got 5 minutes on the clock.
All right, and I got to pick somebody to do it. I think I've done everything we've needed to do.
Who are we going to pick? I don't know.
I don't know. Were there any questions here that stood out to you?
Oh, God. Swedish fish? No, Swedish girls, not Swedish fish, which are very good and tasty.
Swedish fish? Mm-hmm. I got to pick a name. You guys right at home, yell a name out right now, and maybe I'll pick it. We did Ted Ulrich. He's already done one. Do you do that? I think that. I'd like to hear your take on that. When you do you use to get... Why don't I go with Mark Payne? I believe he's been
Mark
around
Twain?
for a while. Payne, P-A-Y-N-E. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say who it was first. God darn you, drinking.
Who are we going to spin for?
Mark Payne, congratulations. You're spinning the wheel this week. Last week, where did it stop, Steven?
It almost stopped
man.
on the DJI.
It almost stopped on
It
the
was
DJI
probably
Phantom.
about a centimeter away from the DJI.
It was not far off at all. Oh, and by the way, for the Froknows Photo Guide to DSLR Video, there's a contest running right now for the first week, which goes until Saturday, November 8th. If you decide to purchase the guide, or there is a no purchase necessary entry that you can do, I'm giving away 10 Rode Video Mic Go's. They're $100 each, and also 10 30-minute Skype calls with Todd and I, or one of us, or the other one of us. We have to figure that one out. But there's 10 of them that we're giving away. So if you've already purchased or you're looking to purchase, you already are going to be possibly randomly selected to get one of those. And if you aren't purchasing for whatever reason, that's fine. There is a way to also enter without making a purchase. So
That's
no
great.
purchase necessary. We'll give away one Rode microphone to one of those, as well as one 30-minute Skype call to somebody who enters using this entry form that we have listed. The link is going to be over on the site. So I didn't want to forget that. On the wheel, we have Black Rapid. We have the Fro Prize, which I sort of gave the kid a question mark last week when it should have just been the Fro Prize, Stephen.
Oh, I thought it was the question mark for
No,
some reason. I
it's-
mixed up Fro Prize and question
I know,
mark.
I mixed it up too. I'm
I
like,
didn't
well, you
even
can have
think
whatever you
about
want.
that. We did say that. You're right.
But that's okay. No big deal.
It should be anything you want, though, because it's next to the DJI, and if you're going to land there, in
No,
that
it should
spot-
actually be you lose a turn. You win nothing.
Oh, that's
Bankrupt.
true. Bankrupt,
So
yeah.
you should be thankful.
Complete opposite.
So Fro Prize, DJI Phantom, if it lands in the middle, we're going to do that. I may do something different, and I'm going to say this right now, because I'm sure at some point they're going to replace that thing, and we could be sitting here forever if we just spin once.
What, the Phantom?
Yeah, I'm sure at some point that's going to happen. So what I'm thinking is maybe as a little bonus thing, people that pick up the DSLR video guide, maybe I will just start going down the list of names, and we will sit here and spin the wheel until it hits the DJI. I mean, how cool is that?
That would be good.
Would
yeah.
that be a really cool little extra bonus perk?
That'd be a lot of spins.
It may be a lot of spins, but
It
maybe
could be
it's
the
not.
first.
Yeah.
What?
It could be the first spin.
Yeah,
It
well,
could
what
be
if
the
it's
first,
like
spin.
the first
Well,
spin?
then that person's name, we're gonna do. I think we'll do that live. Maybe
Cool.
we'll record it and do
We'll
it on
do it live.
Spreecast, and we'll just sit
Spreecast
there.
would be cool.
And we'll just read people. We'll start with the top, people's names, and we'll spin for them. And then if it lands, we'll just keep going until it does it.
How long would you wait until the guide was out? For how long? Like 2 weeks after the guide's out, and then do it, or like a month?
It would probably be by the end of the year.
Gotcha.
It'd probably be like a first of the year thing because we'll let people get in there, get their entries and everything in.
Cool.
So yeah, that we may do. I think that's what I think we'll do until we have a winner.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
All right, we got Think Tank Photo, Rode Microphone, Fro Prize, Adorama Picks for some free stuff. Borrow lenses, $250. They just let me borrow all that Canon gear. Now they let me. I borrowed that Nikon gear. Now I'm borrowing that Canon gear. Squarespace, Lexar, Black Rapid, Fro Prize, question mark. You get anything you want except the DJI Phantom. And if it lands on the DJI Phantom today, my idea just went out the crapper. But maybe they'll give me another one.
Yeah.
My phone's ringing again.
Again?
This time,
Mr. Popular.
it's Brandon Lecter from Alan's camera.
Uh-oh,
He's probably
7D
letting
Mark
me know
II.
that my 7D Mark II came in. So
Jared.
not only did Alan call me, but Brandon called
We're
me.
just calling you again, just to let you know.
All right, so it's
7D
time to
Mark
spin
II
the wheel
has
for
arrived.
Mr. Mark Payne. Are we ready? Pain, pain. Anybody know that song?
Nope.
It's Nirvana, guys.
Didn't sound like him at all.
You did. You know what sucks
Yes,
about
it did.
Nirvana? You know what sucks about Nirvana?
What?
They have no new songs.
Oh.
Ouch. Oh, Around and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. The Wheel of Fro is going to stop this week on the Rode microphone. Congratulations. Let's get rid of the wheel. Congratulations, Mark Payne. Sutter, get rid of the wheel. Sutter, get rid of the wheel. Don't give me bullet during RAWtalk. It just works me up. I mean, that wasn't even a shot.
Drunk Jared.
Well, it's when you don't eat food and then that wasn't even a shot.
We had our peanut butter crackers before we started,
did. So congratulations, Mark Payne. You are winning something from Rode. Actually, that's 2 weeks in a row because last week
he wanted the Rode microphone.
He wanted the Rode microphone, and they're going to send him a shirt. They're sending him a smart lav, and they're sending him a Video Mic Go.
Nice.
So they sent him a whole bunch of extra stuff.
Up.
He did get hooked up. I mean, the Phantom would have been cooler.
Yeah.
But but he got the Rode stuff, and congratulations, Mark Payne. This week, you also are getting some Rode stuff. I'm not sure what they're going to send.
Which question did he ask again?
He asked a question about something. He asked about critiquing images.
Okay, cool.
Our own images. What do we look like? And then we went into that whole yelling about sliders and stuff. So we got that. We've come to... That was an interesting show.
It was.
I hope you guys enjoy this stuff. We did do the retrospect with Lil. We had the Rode plug. Please go to HTTP. It's always tough to transition.
Why do you say the HTTP?
Just because it's for effect. Because everybody's like, why do you say that? But then you listen.
You listen harder because you're like, wait,
you're
HTTP.
Like, what? So there's no www, but it's https://ROCKRO.de/survey.
No, wait, ROCK?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
RockRow.
Okay.
RockRow.
RockRow.
So it's
RockRow.
ROCKRO.
Yeah. RockRow. .de, like DE/survey.
/
You have until the 10th Australian time, which means the rest of the world has until the 9th, unless you're in Australia, to go ahead and do that.
Gotcha.
Don't take your cameras to weddings unless you're the photographer.
Nope.
We learned that this week. Gear of the Week ice trays. We learned that bullet doesn't freeze, which whiskey doesn't freeze in there. I think what alcohol does freeze.
I don't think alcohol does freeze.
It does at minus 117 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
I looked it up.
There you go.
I Googled it.
Well, then in the regular freezer, it won't freeze.
Oh, wait. Was that... It was Celsius. Because it said 0 degrees. Water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Correct.
But 0 Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's at negative 117 degrees Celsius.
Gotcha.
Whew. See, my knowledge is still retains. Check out the Froknows Photo Guide to DSLR Video. It is now available. Like I said, we have that first week fast action bonus thing going. Not only are we doing that discount, it's not $197, it's 50% off at $97. You can get one of 10 Rode Video Mic Goes or one of those phone calls, 30 minutes long with Todd or I, or Todd and I. Either way, we do it with both of us. And also the no purchase necessary option, where there is one of each of those prizes that we're giving away too. There's a social option to share that out into the world. You can get multiple entries there by doing things like sharing, tweeting, and liking, and all of that. It's one of those social plugins that allow you to do that stuff.
Nice.
But I think to do it, you sign up for my email list, and it puts you on a list, and so on and so forth.
Cool.
And that's so that we can give you something because you're giving us something.
Some goodies.
Wheel of Fro, we did that. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
That is it.
What?
That is it.
What?
That is it.
That's a song. What?
Oh, is
That
it?
is it.
What is it? What song is that?
It's a song.
What song?
I don't know what song it is, but that is it.
Oh, okay.
You guys probably know what song that is. Sutter, go get some hats for your head.
Woo.
Because it's going to be cold.
Woo.
And that is where we're going to end this show. RAWtalk episode number 108. Jared Polin, FroknowsPhoto.com. See ya.